All right, so now we've got the ACC chassis system configured to a certain point. We have our barreled action installed, we have everything set up, and now we're going to want to focus on setting the system up for the shooter. So I'm going to install my bolt back into the action, and every little bit of weight is going to make a difference now. So we're going to make sure that we have an empty mag and we're going to have an empty chamber while doing this still, because we don't want to have an accidental discharge or anything go wrong. So by installing an empty mag, having the bolt in, now we're basically running as if we were at the end of a stage. We're going to check the balance of this full system on this tank trap I just happen to have right here. So what I'm going to try and do is balance it as best as I can just on the point of this tank trap. So the whole system is wanting to tilt back when I let go from this balance point here. So I'd have to slide the whole chassis forward to try and counteract that, and that's not really where we want our balance point to be. So where we're trying to get everything to balance is right around this kind of area, but right now it's really fighting me and wanting to fall back. So to counteract that, all we're going to do is throw a couple more weights up near the tip of the forend and pull this balance point forward so that the whole chassis system will balance about 3 or 4 inches in front of the actual mag well. All right, so this is right about where we want our balance point to be, a couple inches in front of the mag well, and still not as bad, still wanting to tilt back just a little bit here. So that means that the steel butt pad base and this buttstock weight are pulling the rifle back, so that'll actually start to raise our crosshairs when we're looking at the target. So now we're gonna add a little bit more weight to the forend, but this time we'll put it in the interior with the barreled action installed. All right, so one of the really key features of this chassis is that you're able to add and remove weights out of the forend with your barreled action installed. All you have to do is just remove this end cap at the very end of your forend and slide the weights in underneath your barrel. What this allows you to do is set up your rifle exactly like you want it to, and if it's not balancing just like you want, you don't have to reset any of your rifle setup. All you have to do is just slide a couple weights in there and improve that balance. So off comes your end cap, and then our forend weights will slide in directly below the barrel. One key feature is we have a couple holes extra in the bottom of the weight, which you can reach up through the M-lock slots that are all the way along the bottom and actually slide the weight along to where you want it to be. So for this one, we're going to slide it just down along the inline with the second forend weight pair. Slide that out the way. So what I'm going to do now is just reach up from the bottom here, underneath in the M-lock slot, and using the hole that's in the bottom of this weight, slide it back and forth just to finally position it to where I want it to be. Once I've got it in that position, I can then use the screws and just tighten it up into the bottom of the forend. So balance it back up on the end of the tank trap here, and now it's actually wanting to balance forward quite a bit, so that means that we've achieved that balance point that we were kind of looking for, a couple inches just in front of the mag well there. All right, so this point here now, we've got the balance point about 3 or 4 inches here in front of the mag well, and that's pretty much the balance point we're looking for. The rifle is not going to be fighting you now, it's not going to be wanting to tilt back or forward too much. You're going to be a lot more stable on target, and your crosshairs are not going to want to float off into midair. The most important thing about the ACC chassis system is that it's completely configurable to your shooting style and your rifle.